First 20 minutes, very one-sided, and that's why you don't see me with a bigger smile on my face, because it was a little bit bittersweet moment for me, because, you know, it's not every day where you find a novice team in the CAF Champions League against two-time winners, three-time winners against Raja, you know, that are so comfortable in their own skin, and when we do the things we do. But yeah, the fact that we didn't win the game 3 or 4-0, which was doable, that is the part for me. Yes, everyone else is celebrating and people are saying you must be happy when you can get a victory, but in the fashion that we did, you know, and then we put ourselves on the back foot towards the end. Anything can always happen when you keep the score at 1-0. And I think we had 3 glorious opportunities. The first one, I'm not even going to go there. I don't even know what happened. I was busy writing something down, and I just saw people jumping up, and I was like, oh, wow. And then when I looked up on the screen and I saw the replay, bad mistake, because I looked at Mulenga in a completely different way. And every shout that was coming from the bench, he didn't want it to look, because he knows if he looks and he clocked me, what was going to happen. So yeah, so I think we made things a bit difficult for ourselves, you know. We get the goal deservedly as well. And then you're so calm and composed and playing the right way, playing the way football is supposed to play. We do all the incredible things that you can do on a football pitch, except for the most important part, and that is to score the goals and to score the chances that you get. And I have to mention, a special mention to Ntembu, because he was in a very difficult situation with what was happening. The team was evolving, and he wasn't part of the team for most of this year, the new year, and to come from out the cold and straight in, being thrown in, and to play, to have the game that he had, you know, that's where the first goal came from. Very good hold-up play. So yeah, so I have to give Shaka a big shout out. And when you have that kind of tenacity, yeah, it's a proud moment for a coach. So I'm pleased with good individual performance. I'm over the moon with the collective effort from the boys. They did themselves really proud. And to have 3 matches and 6 points in the group. Any of you would have thought that AmaZulu would have 6 points? Not really, you know, but we do. So yeah, so proud of the boys, proud of the performance, proud of just the way they applied themselves, and much more. I can't credit them. I can't credit them enough. But it's a special win, but it's an incredible special day for me, you know, because today was the day I had my first child ever. And it's her birthday today, and she turned 17, which is a massive, massive, significant number for me, because my life changed when I was 17 and my daughter turned 17. So it couldn't have been any sweeter. So yeah, I appreciate that, and I hope she had a beautiful day, just as I'm about to have now after today's game. Thank you very much, Carlos. Any questions?
Coach, can I ask you this Champions League? I mean, one looks at this Alphonse team, 2 stars on their badge, and no goals today. Not really. Maybe the travels, as they said earlier, took it without it. But you went to Russia, you expected to be annihilated, you more than gave a solid performance. They kind of achieved last season with half the squad got all the way to the final. My question is this Champions League that tough?
Very good question, and a very good point as well. And to answer that, I think yes, it is. It is tough when you go away from home, because the conditions you're up against is different. what we have in South Africa, we don't fully appreciate what we have here when teams come here. It's a nice life. You know, you enjoy football because the pitches you play on it's fairly straightforward, it's nice. But when you do go away from home, it's a completely different kettle of fish. And that makes it more tougher. But I think when you're on the pitch, as the players can witness, if you do the basics, if you play football in the right way, African teams don't have that discipline that you see when you watch La Liga, when you watch the Bundesliga, when you watch the Premier League. You know, teams are very disciplined. Players are very disciplined. They tend to try and do most of the thing the right way, play football as simple as possible, and the special players, they do what they're supposed to do. But on the continent, you know, with all the flair, with all the talent that you have, I still don't think teams are very structured. So we try and play football the right way because I don't allow them to do the nonsense that we see South African teams tend to do. The players, you know, nutmeg play people and all the fancy things you play to entertain instead of winning football matches. So when we do that, we do find it fairly easy, but the most important we can't seem to do. And I think I will answer your question when I say about if we take the chances that we get, if you beat teams 3-4-0, then yes, it is fairly easy. Africa, it's not too difficult to play in Africa, but when you do go away from home, the traveling, the conditions makes it very difficult to play your usual game. So I don't know if that kind of answer your question, Mangman.
No, this one is one
Yeah, no, that is the aim, that is the intention. We want to go there because we know in order to finish second or win the group, we need to win at least two or try and win one and draw one away from home, and then you make sure you win your home games. Raja has to still come here, which I think we've got more than capable of beating them if we are a bit more clinical than what we were today and against Roya. You know, to beat Raja, if we can put the ball in the back of the net, we will guarantee that we can pick up 3 points against them. But then the all important is the next two games away from home, Setif and Oroya. We can definitely go there with the intentions of getting one over one of these teams, getting a away win, and then just making sure that you don't lose by much, or you get a draw in another game, or you go full points. You try and get 6 points away from home as well. We're well within our right to do that, and we have the squad capable of that, but we need to become a bit more ruthless. We need to be more clinical in front of goals, because letting teams off the hook like that, and then we saw what happened against Raja Casablanca, against the run of play. You concede one goal, and then the screaming tactics and everyone pressuring the referees. That works, and it counts against you because you lose momentum and you can't really go and chase the game because the opposition stops starting non-stop, and you don't get nothing from it. So yes, we are capable, and we are looking to go and try and do the double over them. Traveling, depending on traveling arrangements, if we do the European route or if we do the easiest route that gives us an opportunity, to shorten the travel distance, but where we can prepare fully and not lose a day because of traveling. So that will also count. That will also count towards the result that we will look to start to achieve against them. And yes, for Memela, yes, he's chipping in. Like I said, he's one of the key players. He's one of the key players, and he's got an eye for ball. Mulenga the same, so these are the players that's been getting the goals for us. And while they do that, hopefully the strikers will also start getting their eye in and start chipping in with goals. If you can get your strikers to start scoring goals, plus Mulenga and Manela like it did today, then yes, you kind of have a nice little tripod in front there that can guarantee you no matter when you come up against tough oppositions, when you go away from home, you know. So we have to work on that, getting the strikers also to chip in and support the team, and we can't just rely on the goals of them. I train with a Sangoma. If you don't want to train, I move you or you go home and don't form part of the team. So they know competition is tough, and you play as good as you train, and the players knows. You perform in training, you get to play. You will play. And Bilani Zulu, I think is over the struggles that he had injury. We tend to forget that Chiefs, he played 32, 33 matches consecutive, non-stop, and it takes its toll on the body. So he's came to us, he's been let go, and he's came to us, and you can see the quality footballer, the intelligence there, but the body obviously weren't agreed with the short amount of time he got to rest to recover fully from that killer season he had with Chiefs, where they went all the way to the Champions League and he only had 10, 12 days off, and then he came to AmaZulu and we started playing the preliminary rounds to get into the Champions League. So he's hardly had a break, you know, so we had to struggle the whole half season to try and get him, for his body to agree with being able to take another plunge, another hit the way he's done. So he's over that, and you see the combination he's forming with Mulenga, and Mulenga is starting to produce the football that we see last season, because now he's got an understanding of someone who has the football intelligence to know when he makes that inside run, where they can combine, and when he goes forward, he also makes the smart, intelligent passes. So yes, physically, Bilani Zulu is back. Shaka is also back, and he looks hungry. He looks ready to take on, you know, whatever game time he can get, and then contribute and help the team, you know, because of the league campaign and the CAF Champions League that we want to do. But yeah, most important, during the training, they look there. He's got some box still there, and once I start opening my mouth, there's only graphic stuff coming out. So I think to avoid that, they kind of give me everything they have, and you can only appreciate and you welcome when players have that to the game side and the way the mindset to when they train. Ah, yeah, man. the North African teams, I don't think they're the most physical teams. Dirty, very. They like to kick when the referee don't see, and they like to play act to win free kicks and disturb the momentum, try and get players booked. So that's why I think when you see South Africa has been associated with a lot of small players. So for us, we wanted to play to our strength, and that is move the ball around quickly because of the size of the back center backs. If we can move the ball to the side and get it in behind them for Mulenga, Shaka, Memela to run in behind, they will have difficulties. And you see the first opportunity that we got, how difficult it was for them to turn. They didn't want balls in behind, and we got the opportunity to score. And Mulenga missed shoot. So that was the tactic, just to try and circulate the ball as quick as possible, rotate, shift them from side to side, do the switches, and let them come and close us down one side, and then we rotate, switch the ball to the other side so that we can get in behind them. So and it worked perfectly. It was just unfortunate we didn't take every opportunity that we get, because it would have definitely been sitting here. AmaZulu fought to the goods, because that's how easily it was if we had been clinical and if we had taken our chances. So yes, the tactic was just to keep the ball at our feet, move the ball quicker, players making runs in behind the central defenders, and use the strength of Shaka, because yes, Shaka is a big boy, and if you must be up against him, yeah, you freak out, you crap yourself, because physically, even though he's a gentle giant, but he still fears the opposition, because he does hold the ball up really well, and his interlinking play is very good. And for my jock, listen, he's only been in the country 2 months now, so he's still adapting as much as, we see a lot of good quality coming from him. Once he gets his rhythm, once he gets his momentum and understanding with the rest of the teammates, he's a fantastic player and he will score goals. So for me, it's about managing the team, the physical side. When you climb Mount Everest against Oroya, because the game took a lot out of so many players, and then you asked to climb another mountain within 3 days' time, and you saw the likes of Kola Blambo, how it started to affect him physically, because he couldn't handle in such a short space of time, no recovery time really, and then asked to spike your levels of fitness exceptionally high against TS Galaxy. So you rotate the squad, and he didn't play bad at all, but it was just refreshing the squad, rotating so that we can take the game to them, take the fight to them with players that have fresher legs. Shaka and Bembu had fresher legs. Marcus Sisse came in who had fresher legs, so they can do the hard work and help Mulenga and Memela out, who's played Oroya, who's played against Galaxy, and who's played against United again. So, so that's how we kind of rotate the squad, so that we can have it a little bit fresh, but also not lose the quality that we have. But my jock is doing really well, and once he gets into his stride, he will do fantastic. He score goals, he works exceptionally hard. His link-up play is also very good, and he's quick. He's very quick. He's got good speed to him. So that is a player that we're looking to get right. Two is another player that we're also looking to get right. Physically, we need to get him up to speed, because he works hard, but it's now just putting goals to your names as well. If I look at the Zoom, there's a question from says, Coach Benni, how do you feel as was replacing especially the fact that you guys are playing nothing surprises me anymore. So we just guinea pigs, you know. Whatever the PSL they say, we have to do. We have to turn up. You can't really complain. You're supposed to have strength and depth in the squad, but I guess Algeria just showed us how it's done, how they postpone the game to give Setif a good period where they can prepare and go and fight battles. But yeah, by us, we have to go, so we have to go. So we have to prepare whichever way comes, you know. We have to prepare for that game, and we have to prepare well, and we have to try and juggle because Sundowns has done it over the past few years. Kaiser Chiefs has done it last year, so I guess it's our turn to do it this time around. You know, so we'll see how we manage the load, how we manage the recovery process from the players. But it is tough, but it is what it is, and there's not much we can do to change that. Um, yes, I think the players will be due a good couple of days off so they can unwind, put their feet up, and hopefully recover instead of recover nice at home with a glass of milk, not a glass of whiskey or a bottle of whiskey or vodka or that. So yeah, so I'm hoping my players are intelligent enough. I'm hoping my players are professional and experienced enough to know that this well-deserved break is welcome and they must use it in the best possible way, you know, to enjoy time off with the family, but not hit the nightclubs and Florida Road and all this malaki because it's going to destroy the purpose, you know, because next week we go again and we need them to be fully fit, fully ready so that we can compete in the PSL because the PSL what grants us playing Champions League football. And yes, we want to be there and thereabout again because we're enjoying this experience. You know, it's taking its toll on us playing all these competitions and that. You're going to have suffer some knocks somewhere along the line. But this night was just having the dignitaries there was so beautiful. It was so nice. And your players to express themselves. They put themselves on the platform where, you know, the Al Ahlis, the Zamaleks and that are watching. If you do well, maybe there might be a lucrative contract, you know, and AmaZulu make a lot of money selling our assets to the top African league. So I think this is lucrative, but we only get to play these kind of competition when we do the business in the PSL. So the PSL is equally important, you know, and Maduna got injured against Stellenbosch the first leg game, and he's still out, but he's next week he starts running. It was the same injury that he suffered when he had a broken foot. So the same, he cracked his bone, and it just opened where it was operated on. And I don't know if it's due to our training pitch, the pitch being rock hard, that's contributing. Maybe the wrong footwear, the wrong boots that he's also wearing, and that's one of the things that the specialists are looking at. The kind of boots that he's wearing, maybe the studs is at that where it presses up. And yes, again, the Stellenbosch game, he got stood on. They stood on his foot on that same part where he had the operation. And obviously, he tried to pull his foot out from under, and it just aggravated, so it opened. So yes, so he was sidelined since we played Stellenbosch when he came on and scored the goal, but then he also went off injured, and he's not been back yet. So in a week's time, that's when he only start jogging, and we'll get him back on the pitch. But he will still probably have another month to go before we can fully see him back in the team and that. But player that is also very well missed, you know, just the youthness that he brings to the side and that fearless attitude, personality that he brings when he's on that field, you know, not afraid to take players on. bringing the energy. So yeah, we miss that a lot, but we're looking forward to having him back. But it will take another month or so before we can see him back.